Hey, how's it going? My name is Edwin and welcome to Ed Talks. Today I will be walking you through on how to get started on Upwork. Today's video actually assumes that you've already signed up for an account on Upwork. So if you haven't, please be sure to check my previous videos that will guide you through that process to this point. Specifically, we are going to be covering what's on your Upwork homepage, hourly contracts, fixed price contracts, project contracts, Upwork connects, and Upwork fees. So this is where you will land once you sign into your Upwork account. It's the Upwork homepage. Now the homepage contains a number of different information categories. First, it has the My Feed, and that will show you a list of different jobs. On the right, you will see different pieces of information that are vital. You will see your profile completeness. Please make sure that it's at 100%. You'll see the number of connects you have available. You'll see the hours you are willing to work per week, your job preference, profile visibility should be public. Then on the left, you'll find the My Job feed. Now it will have a list of different jobs, not very specific to what you would like, but all jobs that are available as and when they come up. As we scroll down, you can see there are different jobs available here, some not even very specific to my profile needs. Next to My Job feed, we have Best Matches. Now, Best Matches is a more refined filtration or filter of the jobs you might just want to like. These ones are a close match to what you have under My Categories, and you will see the work you see here or the jobs you see here will be much more favorable for what you have in your profile. But lastly, you can actually search using the search bar. I'm going to type in data scientist. When you search that, it will bring back jobs very, very specific to what your search criteria is. So all the jobs you see here are actually having data scientist related requirements. So that's one way to quickly search. My preferred way of searching for jobs though is going to My Categories. Of course, you can always edit it, but I'm going to click on, say, accounting and bookkeeping. Once I click on accounting and bookkeeping, it will also show me jobs that are very, very specific to accounting and bookkeeping. As you can see, there's an accountant required in Lithuania, there's a bookkeeper and all that kind of stuff. But it brings us to our next item, which is really job types. There are two types of jobs that you can do on Upwork. Well, actually three. Hourly contracts. So hourly contracts are that kind of work that you're being paid per hour by the client to do the work. It's interesting because one could argue and say, how do I confirm? Oh, there's a conflict of interest. I'll just take longer to do the work as opposed to doing the work in the best time I could possibly do it. And they have a solution for this. They have what they call an Upwork tracker. So when you click down at the bottom, when you scroll down to the bottom, you will see desktop app. That's how you install an Upwork tracker. So once you click that, there are a series of steps that follow about how you can download an Upwork tracker, whether you're having an iOS, Windows, 64-bit, 32-bit, Ubuntu, all that kind of thing. You can download an Upwork tracker. Incidentally, this only works on desktops, so you won't be able to do this on your mobile phone. But what it does is it allows the client to track yourself, to track you doing the work. And it's very sophisticated because it will take screenshots, it will capture keystrokes, it will capture randomly. Many times it was within a span of 10 minutes, but it will capture all these different steps as you're doing the work. So if you're just going to do the work and sit by, or you claim you're doing the work and you're watching YouTube videos, or you're just leaving the screen there, when it captures that screenshot, it will actually show the client that for about 2 or 3 minutes, this person wasn't doing anything, or for 10 minutes, he only had two keystrokes. Like, what kind of work are you doing if you've only pressed the keyboard twice? And then they will also see how the different sites you visited. So you must make sure that once you have this running, you're actually doing the work and not visiting different sites or leaving the screen idle, because that's the guarantee for you to be paid per hour. If you do that, the client will dispute the hours you've actually worked for, and he'll remove all those texts where you haven't been actually doing the work. So make sure that you actually do the work once you install this app. So as you've seen, we've just run the installation. I think the installation is complete. And once that is done, you open it. So it will be on your desktop. Every time you're going to do work for a client per hour, you open the application. If it's your first time, you'll be given terms and conditions which you would have to agree to, and now it loads. All right, so we finished installing the Upwork tracker. Once you're done installing the Upwork tracker, it will be appearing either on your desktop or the lower taskbar. But when you open it for the first time, you will be asked to sign in. And so this again assumes you already have an Upwork account. So I'll go ahead and put in my details, my email address. These are the same login details that you use to sign up for Upwork. Right? So I'll do my sign up. You can sign in with Google as well if you did that, but I always find it just easier signing in with my Upwork details or credentials. I'll put in my password. So please, of course, I assume you've already, you remember your password and all that kind of stuff. So this is where you arrive once you sign in. You will, for the first time, you will go through a series of steps. They are just giving you a quick guide on how the tracker works. You can just quickly go through those very easily and then move on to the next bit. Yeah. Now, once you're done signing in, it will show the number of contracts you have on the left. So if I click on one of the contracts, you will see they'll give you details. I've hidden my client's details, of course, but you can start the tracker and end the tracker, and then you have a diary. You can put in notes on what task you are doing for the time that you actually started the tracker. If you don't fill that in by default, it will just take the title for the job that you're doing, but I can put in and type in, for example, setting up chart of accounts. I type that in because I'm assuming that's the work I'm going to start doing. Once I have that, I select, you can either have a reminder or not, but then you can start. So if I click start, that means that I've started tracking this work. So from that moment onwards, the number of keystrokes I make, the websites I visit, and all that kind of thing will be tracked and captured. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because I'm not about to start that contract, but that's what the Upwork tracker does and why it's so important as far as doing hourly work is concerned. Fixed price contracts, unlike hourly, you're paid at the end of the job. So you'll be given a job and you can only be paid once that job is done. It's less protected and not guaranteed like the hourly, because an hour worked on Upwork without any disputes is an hour guaranteed to be paid within the following week. Different from hourly, fixed contracts, money will sit and the payment will be on hold for at least 14 days to give the client some time to either dispute or approve payment for your work done. So it's important that you're aware of this, and it's also the area where a lot of scamming could potentially happen. Never start any work without having a formal contract, because when you get a formal contract for a fixed piece of work, Upwork will take the money from the client's account and it will sit on an escrow account, which is like a third party, to guarantee that when you do the work well, the client cannot go away without paying you. That's why it's important to always make sure that you have a contract before you start work. That said, now that we've filtered a fixed price contract, you will see you can filter between the amount or the value for each contract. You can have contracts that are worth $5,000 and above, contracts that are between $500 and $500, less than $100, $500 to $1K. So all these are different filters. But again, if you're just starting, you don't want to limit yourself. You'll just select fixed and then you see what's available out there. So let's pick up one of these jobs. It's $30, as you can see. So let's simulate like I'm going to apply for it. Obviously, it's between 20 to 50 proposals, so normally I'll never apply for it. But for the sake of this video, let's click on it, and then it will allow us to explain how fixed pricing works. So this job, as you can see, the client budget is 30. Some people can exceed the budget, but of course, if they've given you a budget, chances that client is not willing to pay beyond that. So just stick within the budget. With fixed price contracts, you can price, the terms can be by milestone or by project. Let's look at milestone. Milestone is breaking down the whole project into smaller milestones, which are the conditions under which you can be paid. So this contract is about interviewing an accountant or a bookkeeper. So I can say my first milestone where I want to get some money out is if I do know your customer responses. So here we're assuming that, for example, they've sent us a questionnaire to fill in to know about us before the interview. So I'll put in the due date, I'll be able to complete that response, and I'll say maybe I can get $10 on completion of that milestone. So if I complete that milestone, the client is required to pay me $10. The second milestone I'll put in would be maybe having the actual interview. So as you can see, the whole job is doing the interview. I've broken it down into filling in a questionnaire and also actually having the interview. So let's say we'll complete the interview on 9th, and then I'll say I'll take the rest of the money. So once I actually have the interview, then I'll click and activate that milestone as well, and I'll be good to be paid. And of course, I'll always fill in the duration this project should take. Sadly, they only have less than a month. Otherwise, this is just taking a couple of days, and then you can come down and then apply. Okay. The other option is to go by project. And when you go by project, all that's really happening is it takes away all the milestones. And in this case, you just have to put the $30, and you can only earn them once you've completed and the client has approved. If the client hasn't approved, then you will have to go into a settlement, or you'll have to, they will dispute it, and you'll have to have a discussion with the client. Hopefully that never happens to you, because it really spoils a good client relationship. But again, it goes to show the risk that comes with fixed work. So unlike the hourly contracts, it's important that you take a lot of time looking at the client's history. How many people has he paid before? What are the reviews about him? How much money has he spent? If you find a client who has never spent anything, then you don't want him to actually promise you $5,000 and you do all the work and then he contests it, and Upwork will always be sort of leaning towards the client. Now, project work is fairly new on Upwork. It wasn't there at the time I joined, but it's really, really useful. And I believe it's a big addition, or a great addition by Upwork, because there are times where clients want to pay someone for a package deal. For example, if you are a web designer, they want to pay you right from setting up the domain, acquiring the web hosting, designing the website from end to end until completion. So now as a freelancer, you can package your work. For example, you see professional video editing, and these people will do at least they list the work that they will do from end to end. They quote their pricing per hour, they put the delivery time, and as you can see, it allows someone to understand how long that work will take. There's even work for accountants now. You will see someone that will do for you bookkeeping with Xero. They will do for you your tax returns. They tell you it will take 4 days, it will take 2 days, but it's packaged work. So it's not really hiring someone to do your chart of accounts, hiring someone to do your data entry, hiring someone to file your tax return. No, this is now a project delivery. So all this work is packaged within, and a client can come and just pick out. And we've all been there. You sometimes want to pay someone once for the work, but you don't want to break it into small pieces. So really here, they will quote, or you will quote a price for the whole project, maybe $100. And when they say from, that means that it's bound to change depending on the information that you give, that the client gives you. So it could just be supporting your trip when you go to Maldives, and they say from $50, but if it also requires getting you a COVID test, if it requires driving you somewhere, that kind of work, that means that you have to be able to put up the price. Let's talk Upwork fees. So Upwork takes a commission of all the work that they do. One would wonder, were they doing it just for the love of people? No, they actually need to make money to run the site, and I think it's a fair rate, especially because what they take away from you on each contract keeps reducing as you make more money from that contract, be it fixed, be it project, be it hourly. So Upwork will take 20% off the first $500 you make with a particular client on a particular piece of work. Then they will take 20% off between 500 to 1,000. Then they will take 5% for anything over 10,000 with a particular client. So if you have long-term work, you have a client who you've worked with for 2 years, you've earned over 1 year, you've earned over $10,000 with them, there's a very high likelihood that they'll only be cutting off 5% commission from you for that. Lastly, we'll address Upwork Connects. Now, Connects are Upwork's way of ensuring that jobs remain competitive and people actually think through, or freelancers think through when they're applying for work. Initially, there were no Connects. So what would happen is if a client put out work that was being paid for, say, $1,000, $10,000, $5,000, it would become so difficult for the client to sort through these proposals because, hey, everyone wants to apply for a job that will pay $5,000. So even people that were poorly qualified, they would say, I'll just take a shot at applying for this work. So what Upwork devised is they said, let's introduce Connects. Connects is like the currency for Upwork that allows you to apply for work. So each job, depending on how competitive Upwork estimates it will be, requires a number of Connects to apply for it. So you just can't sit one day because you have time and you apply for all the jobs in the universe because you run out of Connects. And after you run out of the free Connects, it means you're really going to have to think hard because every useless application you make now costs you money, because when you run out of the free Connects, every application now requires you to buy a certain number of Connects, and that costs money. So for example, someone would ask, are Connects free? Yes and no. When you sign up for Upwork, you get access to 40 Connects for just signing up, and that's a good thing. Those are free, and every month they'll give you 10 Connects on a monthly. There are also a number of different packs you can get extra Connects for. For example, when you do the Upwork readiness test, they'll give you those Connects. If you're a developer, they'll give you a skill set test, and that's only by invite. And if you do that, they reward you with Connects as well. Aside from that, the rest of the Connects you'll have to pay for. So chances are if you've just signed up, you have 40 Connects, but to apply consistently for work, you'll soon run out of those and even your 10 monthly Connects one. So what needs to happen now is you need to be able to buy Connects to be able to apply. But that means you have to think through before you apply. You need to only apply to work you think can do. Otherwise, if you apply for work and Connects are wasted, that means sooner than later, useless or aimless applying is going to start costing you money. To get Upwork Connects, you can just go to where your Connects are. You'll probably have 40 or something. Click on Available Connects. And then it will bring you to Membership and Connects. So it will show you your available Connects, and then you can click on Buy More Connects if you want. You can see the history of your Connects and how the purchases have been. It will also show you your membership, which we can discuss at another time. But if you click on Buy Connects, you'll see your available Connects, and then they'll show you the bundles that you can buy. And you can buy 10 Connects for $1.5, 20 for $3, 150 for $22.5, and that kind of thing. And then of course, it will show you what your Connects balance will be. If you go and select maybe buy 150 Connects, they'll show you that your Connects balance will now be 159, and it expires for a year. So it's valid for a year. These Connects will stay with you whether you use them or not for a year, but after a year, they will expire. If you have a promo code, you can put it in there and they probably won't charge you. But once you're ready to pay, it will link to your Visa card or to your Pioneer card, and that's how you pay for Connects. That brings us to the end of this session. As always, I'm honored that you could take this journey with me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep up with all the latest updates as we go on this journey to enabling you or helping you earn money online. Thank you.